Welcome back to the channel. Today we have Luke with us and his Corvette. Maybe to start off with, why don't you just explain what do we have here?
Now, this is a 1963 Corvette Grand Sport replica by Mongoose Motorsports of Ravenna, Ohio. It is very similarly constructed to the original Grand Sport cars Chevrolet built in 1963. As a lightweight to the Shelby Cobra. The production 63 Corvette was too heavy to race against Carroll Shelby's light Cobras, so the Chevy guys went out and designed what they called the lightweight, which was a tubular chassis and a thin-skinned bodied car.
You've worked this yourself as well, correct?
I put the rolling chassis together.
Okay.
One other thing is these replicas use a rack and pinion steering from the C4, and it uses coilover shocks. Another difference from the original C2 Grand Sports there were only 5 of them built. They were going to build 125. The GM corporate guys got word of it and canceled the program when they found out about it. The Chevy guys were doing it in secret.
Yeah.
And that makes the 5 Grand Sports unrealistic to the average guy because the value of them is so high at this time.
And this is a rear-wheel drive?
Correct.
Rear-wheel drive. And is this manual?
Yes, it's got a Tremec TKO 600 5-speed transmission.
If someone is considering a car like this, what would you say, in your opinion, what appeals to you the most about this?
Well, it's unique. Like I said, there were only 5 original Grand Sports ever made, and they're all typically very high dollar museum pieces. If you're a Chevy guy, this is kind of the answer that the Chevy guys.
And it's easy to drive?
Yeah, it is.
The clutch and the throttle response?
It's got a hydraulic clutch. It's
okay.
Easy. These were built as race cars. It's basically a replica of a race car. The Grand Sports did have a trunk. I believe it was mandated by the class that they were racing in, that it would need since it's probably some kind of GT class or something
and these air vents, are they functional or is that just for design?
They would be functional more functional if I hooked up some hoses, I guess, to cool the brakes, but they could easily be more functional. The rear vents are to extract air from the body. These cars had some issue with lift at high speed, so a lot of them have hoods with a lot of venting in it. This is one of the hoods that didn't really have a lot of venting in it.
And the exhaust actually comes out?
Correct, side exhaust. This is a ZZ 502 Deluxe Performance big block Chevrolet crate engine.
And I'm assuming this is not the original engine?
For this car. This car was recently built.
Okay.
So, virtually everything in the car is new, other than the donor C4 suspension components, like the control arms and the rear differential.
And it's a V8?
Correct.
Yes, you say 5 point... Did you say 5.3?
No, it's quite a few liters. It's
6 point?
No, it's 7 liters of 428. I'd have to. It's a 502 cubic inch engine, and rated at 502 horsepower.
Is it 502?
Correct.
Wow, that's a lot.
Correct.
For this car. And this only has very few miles on it.
Correct. It's got, I think when I left the house this morning, it had 340 miles.
340 miles.
Correct.
Are these easy to work on? I mean, see there's a lot of space.
Yeah. It seems to be easy to work on.
Do you know how fast this was 0 to 60? Have any idea?
Not offhand, no. I don't drive it real hard.
Right.
It's but hard enough to do much damage to it. So
Yeah.
it's mostly just for fun, tooling around locally, and to take it to car shows. It likes to. It doesn't like to pass gas stations. It's a thirsty little critter. But
Right.
this kind of car you don't.
That's not.
buy for
You know,
commuting,
yeah.
So.
It's not. It's not your Toyota Prius.
Yeah, correct.
All right. On that note, maybe we should take for a spin.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. All right. So we're driving the Corvette. Hopefully you can hear us. But it's a lot of engine. Not a whole lot of power. Like a manual.
Like what?
A manual.
Manual?
Manual, yeah.
Transmission? Yeah.
There's nothing like it. It's a 5-speed?
5-speed, yes, sir.
So you just go for joy rides and you just kind of drive this just to kind of keep it going.
Until the gas doesn't dry out too hard. That being concerned, I guess.
Right. And I mean the seats are
They're
pretty
kind
firm.
They're kind of minimal.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but the seats are minimal. So there's not a whole lot of cushion.
But they're close to what it's been back in '63 for the race car.
Right.
And you really wouldn't want to take headrest because it would kind of not look too good against the whole body structure in the back.
It's not that firm. I mean, it's fairly comfortable.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Like it's not
Basically a replica of a race car.
right, but it doesn't. I mean, I'm sure if you go hours, you'll feel maybe a little fatigued, but
Yeah. Missed the shift there.
what'd you say?
I missed the shift there.
Oh yeah, it happens. It seems like it's very easy to see out.
Yeah, I still have to place the rear view mirror. I just have to get the windshield.
But as far as like the hood, it's long, but it's not that high. So it's easy to see out.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like some of these sports cars, you can barely see the front, but this is.
The guy who did the tune on this car said it's a car you don't want to drive in wet pavement because it could easily lose control if you were driving it heavy. These cars are very light. They're only I think the shipping weight is 2450.
Say if I wanted to buy this, would you say it's for sale?
It's not officially for sale, but I do have other projects that one in particular that I'd like to start in the near future, and I could use the funds from the sale of this car and the space opened up in my garage to start that project. So it's
So
not
s-
officially for sale, but
If someone,
it's unofficially.
okay, so
for
if
sale.
someone made an
So
offer,
it's
you
it's
were
not really on the market, but I would be interested if somebody is interested in purchasing it.
okay.
So,
So if anybody's watching, if this appeals to your automotive senses, you want to buy it, they can contact the channel, and then
sure, that'd be
then I'll let you know.
that would be acceptable.
Okay.